And we are live. What is going on, guys? Hope you all have an awesome week so far. Back for another website roast. If you're joining live, be sure to comment below, #live. If you're watching this on the replay, comment #replay. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Got an exciting one today. Going to be covering a financial investment company, a child skincare brand, and also a LinkedIn personal branding coach. Gareth, I'm sorry, I said I was going to do this one a while ago and I completely forgot. So we're going to get into that one first. Really, really excited to do this. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of value in this. So as always, while you're watching this, be sure to kind of listen out for some things that you could potentially apply to your websites, because some of these things can be absolutely game changing. So do not take this stuff lightly. If you do want to get your websites covered on one of the next ones, just drop it in the comments below, and we'll do our best to get it featured on one of the up and coming ones over the next couple of weeks. So let's get straight into it. As always, guys, I want to make this as interactive as possible. So if you have any questions that come up while you're watching this, again, drop it in the comments. If there's any observations or feedbacks of your own that you want to share as we're going through these websites that could potentially help others, again, drop it in the comments below. Right, let's move this over here. Okay, here we go. Right, let me get rid of this banner. Cool. So Gareth, my friend, I'm going to do your one first. So Gareth is a, well, I said LinkedIn coach. He is a personal branding coach, but he also specializes in LinkedIn as well. So first things first on this website, helping you find your voice online. I like it. I think it could be a little bit stronger though. And again, as always on these things, the caveat here is that I don't know who your exact customer audience or avatar is. So I can only kind of speak from the perspective of, you know, how can we make this stronger, assuming who your audience is. So helping you find your voice online, it's a little bit vague to me. And I think in this opening hook, right? So this, we always refer to this is like above the fold content, right? So this is what people see before they even get a chance or have to scroll down on the page. So this is so important, because the fact is most people will leave a website without even scrolling. They will see that first section and they will decide, is this or isn't this for me? So this bit is so important. So it's critical here that you are really speaking into a pain point they have. I mean, it kind of alludes to a pain point. Maybe these are people that are struggling to find their voice, but I don't think it's powerful enough. Like maybe we can speak into, how do you stand out in a sea of noise, right? How is your audience feeling? What is this making them feel like? You know, are they working their backside off and they're never getting anywhere? They're never getting heard, for example. Another thing that I'll do here to build on this, helping you find your voice online so that you can. So where you've got this, you know, it could be an idea here so that you can blah, blah, blah. And then I like that you've kind of incorporated, you know, we build personal brand through content plans creation. That's great because that's adding context to what you do. I would maybe put this on that bottom bit here though. I think we really need this to kind of hook people in as much as possible. The other bit that kind of throws me about this one is where we've got start your project here. It's a little bit confusing about like, I don't know what my project is. Like you're telling me you're going to help me find my voice. Like what project are we talking about? It's a bit of a disconnect there for me. One other thing that I would say here, which I think would be really useful for you in particular, Gareth, is to have some form of lead magnet. Right. So people typically don't like booking a call or filling out lengthy contact forms and things like that. I think this goes to the contact page. Yeah, so it's asking them to fill out a form. So I don't know what my project details are. I don't really know what I want. I just know that I'm struggling to find my voice online, right? So don't make people work to get in touch with you. So how could you make this easier? Maybe you can offer them 5 little known ways to discovering your voice and being heard in a crowded, noisy marketplace, whatever that is, whatever thing is going to really grab the attention of your audience, whether that be a video series, a workshop, whether it be an ebook of some sort, a checklist. Think about something that you can offer people as a lower barrier to entry, so they don't have to book a call with you yet. They don't have to fill out long forms, something that's going to really quickly deliver them a quick win so you can prove yourself. Because this is what you'll find, now more than ever, skepticism is on the rise. Right? People do not want to give away their email address so easily. So you really need to do more to hook people, but then to prove yourself, right? Because there's so much noise out there. We're surrounded by so many ads each day. So you really need to speak directly to someone's pain points, but then also to be able to have some form of entry point where people can get in touch with you. So let's have a look as we get further down the website. Find your digital voice. We offer LinkedIn. So this is just a bit more about the services. Create effective content, build a personal brand. Okay. We create personal brands to inspire. So again, I would say here, this is going to very much come down to your audience, right? Your niche. Is that what your audience want to do? Do they want to inspire? Do they want to make money? Do they want to have an impact? This kind of wording is very much going to depend on who is your audience, right? What are they looking to do? What are they really struggling with? Maybe it's that they want to make the impact, they really desire. Maybe it's they want to start making the money they deserve. Maybe it's a mixture. So show the people behind the business brand. Show your voice. I would say, again, here in these sections, I like that you've got these. There's a bit of a disconnect. So no stress of needing to constantly create content for your LinkedIn. Perfect, because that's speaking into a pain point. It's giving them a solution. It's like that sigh of relief moment. Show the people behind the business brand. Do I care about that? I don't know. And again, this is where it comes down to your audience. Are they really that fussed about that? Or is that something that, you do, but they're not necessarily going to be interested in? You want to be really careful here about only speaking to these points that people really, really want, especially on the homepage. Because what you've got to consider is your homepage. This is effectively, this is where you earn the right for people to want to learn more about you. And I always say this, I see a lot of people start, go straight into an about us section on the homepage. No, please do not do that. You need to earn the right for people to want to learn about you. There's nothing wrong with having an about us section. I'm all for it. I think people should be transparent. I think it's great. But first, earn the right. Show people that you understand them, you understand their pains, you understand what they're going through, and that you have a solution to those problems before you tell them about yourself and your life story, because people do not care about you. I promise you this, people do not. And if you think for yourself, when you're looking for a product or service, you have a pain, you have a problem, or something that you're looking to solve, you do not care about that company's story. What you care about is getting your problem sorted out. So you really need to think about it from the customer's perspective. It can be tempting to say, we've got 20 years experience, we've won all these awards, we have an amazing team. They don't care yet. Not yet. Maybe they will after they know that you can help them and that you understand them, which is a really critical point. Customer reviews are always valuable. Yeah, I agree, but I think maybe, it's up to you how you put this. You can just put testimonials. You can put, I quite like, things like, don't just take our word for it, right? There's a copywriting principle that we've spoken about in the past, but it's always enter the conversation already going on in someone's mind. What are they thinking as they scroll down this page? Sounds great, but I've heard this all before. Really, why would I trust you? Oh, okay, yeah, don't just take my word for it. When you can build up that level of connection with someone, when you can speak into what they're thinking, instantly builds trust. instantly builds trust, right? You've probably had those moments where you've met someone in person, you're getting on and you're kind of like almost completing each other's sentences, right? And it forms this bond and this kinship. It's the same thing with a website. If as people are scrolling down, you are saying things like, I know what you're thinking. You're probably wondering why I'd be doing this for free. You're probably wondering this. You're probably wondering that. Really helps to build up trust with people. So really think about how can I speak the language, but also in sequence as well. After they read this, what are they going to think? Are they going to think, sounds too good to be true? Are they going to be thinking, I've heard this all before? So always, always, always do this, because it will skyrocket your conversions when you can do this well. Our vision is to bring daily positivity to the world. Okay, I like that. I mean, it's nice to share your vision. I think this helps to kind of, you know, separate and what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, to separate your audience. I can't think of the exact word right now. 8% of social media posts come from LinkedIn. Some stats and stuff here. Okay. It's all about. One other thing I would say, I'm kind of like, I'm a little bit, because, you know, this is about finding my voice and stuff, content brands, personal brands, great. And then it goes into LinkedIn, but it's like, what if I'm not on LinkedIn? What if I'm on Instagram? What if I'm on Facebook? What if I want to create a personal brand on there? I feel a bit like, you know, maybe if you are only doing LinkedIn, maybe make that clearer up here. But again, this will come down to exactly who your audience is, what you're looking to do. And I know this is something that's evolving over time for you anyway, Gareth. So just something to think about. And for anyone watching this, think about how this applies to your business. Look at your website now and just have a good think about like how this applies to you. It's all about the people. It's all about the process, strategy. Okay, so showing a bit about how the process works. I like that. I would change this. You want to try and think everything on the website. How can I make it about them? How can I make it about you? And you want to, it's all about the people and it's all about the process. It almost sounds a bit cold and static. You want it to sound very personable. Like, we will get your personal brand up and running in 3 simple steps, or we can work with you in 3 ways. Just by using the word you, the person reading it feels like, oh, they're speaking to me. It flows much nicer. It's much easier to digest for people. So really try and make it like you're wherever you can. By the end of the consultation call, yeah, our values. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I think this could do with being much more condensed. Really kind of driving into the pain points, talking about a solution more. These testimonials are quite big. There's nothing wrong with having full testimonials on here. I might even go a step further, and what can be quite effective is to just take out little snippets, right? Like what's the big win somebody's got? So maybe, for example, let's say Madga had 10x'd her, you know, visibility, or she found a new lead, or whatever that win looks like, no matter how small it is, just one little win, and place little snippets throughout the website, right? Little snippets of testimonials that are very easily digestible, and it's not like reading this whole thing, because it just gives people that momentum and that excitement to keep going through the website. Okay, so that's that page. I've got a couple to do today, so I'm going to try not to spend too long on this one. Content creation, creating content to inspire your audience. Our vision is to create and connect people through content. Yeah, it all feels a little bit fluffy for me. I don't think there is enough here to really inspire me to take action. I think this, you know, all of these pages, again, they need to be about, look here, we take the stress. I would have this, get rid of this. We take the stress out of creating content by creating, you know, whatever. You just have, we take the stress out of creating content, right? Boom, massive pain point for so many people. Put that there as your header. And really kind of drive into these points. And then I'll just, you know, bullet points, like, how does it work? Is this a long process? Like, what are these What are the questions people might be asking themselves? A really good exercise to go through when you look through your website. What fears might people have? What doubts? What questions? Oh, are they going to need, how long is this going to take? Are they going to need access? Like, how is this going to work? Is it going to be a really long process? Like, just try and dispel any of these doubts and concerns that people have, and really don't be afraid to speak into them. LinkedIn coaching. Okay, cool. All right, I think that's enough there. I mean, the same applies. I think these websites can be, these pages can just be more punchy, more speaking into pain, less of the fluff, and just really getting to the point and speaking into people's concerns as they go down the page in that sequence. The other thing I'd say here, Gareth, and I know we kind of briefly talked about this, I would definitely, from an SEO perspective, definitely going to want to have a blog, because LinkedIn coaching and personal brand coaching, I may be wrong. I don't think it's like going to have huge search volume on Google. So you may be able to rank organically for those keywords, but you're definitely going to want to have a blog, because you will want to pick up those searches that relate to personal branding. So what might people be searching for? Maybe they're searching for, how can I stand out on LinkedIn? How can I build a personal brand? So whereas your homepage might be like personal branding expert, personal branding coach, LinkedIn coach, that kind of thing, you want to try your blog to swoop up the rest of those organic searches. So your blog, and this is a really big one. I see so many businesses making this mistake. A blog isn't just like your diary. It can be. It's fine to use it like that, but you want to try and have these, if you really want this to drive leads for your business, which I think most people do, they want leads and sales, your blog content needs to be around what kind of questions or things are my customers typing into Google and searching for? What kind of pains are they having? Right? So they're not being heard. How do I get heard online? How do I stand out? How do I market myself on LinkedIn? 4 ways to market yourself on LinkedIn, right? Like, think of these content pieces that you can create and start ranking for those. And then at the end of each blog, you want to have some form of call to action. Again, like whether you want to try and keep these as a natural progression. So let's say you were doing a blog on LinkedIn, maybe you would then have a download, which is, 5-step process to optimizing your LinkedIn profile to generate more leads, right? Like something like that. That's a natural progression to that blog. Someone signs up to your email list, and you can then nurture them and, and potentially nurture them into a sales call and becoming a client. So you want to think of it like that. So think about some ways for anyone watching, how you could apply this to your business, creating a blog around the pain points of your customers, and then having a logical next step instead of just leaving it and saying, contact us here, right? Like, what's the next step that this person can take in relation to the context of that particular blog post, right? And when you can start doing that, you will start driving phenomenal growth from your blogs alone and from an organic traffic perspective. Right, so let's come on to the next one. Gareth, I hope that's helped, bud. I will tag you in this video. So the next one, this is one I came across the other day, and from a guy on LinkedIn. So this company, I think they're basically like effectively like financial investment advisors, right? And this is kind of the problem. I already am struggling to know how to explain, and I've already been through this website, and it made me laugh because you've got this up here, and I see this all the time. It drives me bonkers. We're a multi-award winning brand. Winners of the Big Nod, Best Craft, Best Design and Brand Identity. We just won the Silver Award for this. Great. I have no idea what you do. And this is a huge problem. And I see this where web designers, right? People spend tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of pounds on these award-winning designers who are purely coming from a place of ego. They're designing the website to try and win an award, make some amazing designs that look super cool and going to win all these ego awards. But for the client, I don't know what you do. Like, what is this? Nacho and salsa? Like, they've got some quirky vibe going on, which I really like, but it's jarring. I don't know what it means. Like, Mediterranean surf instructor, scuba instructor. It's just really bizarre. And you do see this a lot where like people put design over the user experience, and it's never going to go well. It's never going to go well. I'm all for personality, for branding, for uniqueness, for quirkiness. I love that. But please don't do it where it's going to confuse people and using, you know, fancy words and whatnot. I actually like the copy on this one. It's nice. It's plain English, but it's just really jarring with some of these things like natural and salsa. If anyone watching this right now is reading through this and you understand what this means, please tell me, because I don't get it. So you want to make the most out of your hard-earned money, but life keeps getting in the way. Good news, you're not alone. Spent Well will help you understand, plan, manage, so you can live the life you want. Okay, it's decent. Do you want it to be spent well? You want no nonsense this, you want no nonsense that. So they've got some relatively good copy. I think it's quite hard to read. It's very small text would be my initial critique on this. Like, it just doesn't make it easy for me to read and understand what this is about. And again, if you make it hard for people to understand, they're going to bounce. They're not going to stay on the website. Want to take control of your money. The other issue I've got with this is it's not really clear. Like, okay, so I'm signing up to a newsletter here, but like I've got client portal here as a big button. I've got a tiny little content button here, which I could miss, right? Because this is like the main thing. So it's like, well, what am I meant to do? Like, okay, this sounds great. Like, awesome. Where's a call to action? What step can I take? You know, maybe you have, again, like, what have we got? Get in touch. So you got an email address here. Never a good idea putting an email address, simply because it can't be tracked, right? If you really are serious about growing your business online, it's so important that you can track the data. There's, you know, you can't, if you're trying to grow organically, if you're trying to run paid traffic to this site, you're never going to know what's working if you can't actually track it. If people are clicking on a link and emailing you, it's very difficult to know how many leads are we actually generating. So you want to have a contact form so that you can track. You can dive into your analytics and say, cool, Google has brought us, you know, 10 inquiries. LinkedIn has brought us 5 inquiries. You need to get to that stage so that you can actually grow it out and expand it. We've got a request a callback button here. So there is a form here. I think this is too much information. How did you hear about us? Again, you want to make this as easy as possible. First name, you don't need their last name right now. I would argue that you don't even need their email address. If someone's putting in their phone number, you could just get away with that. Sometimes it can be nice to have an email address as a backup. But again, what you have to consider is the more details you're asking someone for, the less likely they are to fill it out. So I would test an experiment, because you're going to find like there'll be a difference between lead quality and lead volume, and it's finding that balance. So I would definitely be testing this to see what kind of difference it makes. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's just all very, very confusing for me. If you have to ask the price, it's not spent well. What it costs. Complimentary introduction. So I like how they've got a step-by-step thing here. But again, this isn't even really clear that it's a step-by-step process. Right, comprehensive financial plan and service. Maybe they've done that for SEO, but I would have something here that just says very bold, we can manage this in 3 easy steps. They've got 4. 3 is generally the magic number, but yeah, I would try and make that a bit clearer. I think with this one, I'm gonna move on. I'm not gonna spend too long on here, but my initial feedback and advice on this is that I just feel like it needs to be much more condensed. It needs to be driving people to a specific call to action, and it would significantly increase the amount of leads that you're getting from this. You know, again, whether that be a quiz, like for people to take on what's your ideal investment, like how risk averse are you, and giving people value, giving them ideas. How can you really deliver value to people, get them to take the next step in that journey? So next one we've got here, competition. I like it. These are really cool, by the way, for e-commerce stores. I really like these. A little spinning wheel competition. So nice. brownie points. I like it. Now, my main criticism of this one is this above the fold content. And, like I just mentioned, this above the fold section is so critical. It's too noisy. I don't know where to look. Like, you've got these logos, you've got this up here. I just don't know where to look. I'm like, and when I first came on this, I struggled to know what it was, because I saw this easy to use for every adventure. I read that first. Then I read these because they're quite big, made with natural ingredients. And I scrolled down. I didn't actually read that. I scrolled down and I was like, I still don't know what it is. So it's a big problem, because you will lose so many people. Again, if that above the fold content, if this main first section isn't clear and easy to understand, you will lose so many people. Now, this itself, I think this can be much better. And I think this would significantly increase conversions as well. You're here because you want innovative skincare you can't find anyone else. I don't think that's true, right? Like, this is for anyone who's wondering, it's a child's skincare brand, right? So it's like organic, it's eco-friendly. It looks like an incredible product, but maybe I shouldn't comment because I'm not a parent, but I can't imagine parents are saying to themselves, if only I had an innovative skincare product that I can't find anywhere else. No, I don't believe it. I think people want to know, they want to look after their kids, right? Their kids, without a doubt, their number one priority. There's no mention of their child in here. There's no mention of, your child's skin and looking after your child's health using organic products. Like, this is going to be, I would imagine, for this audience, for somebody who wants sustainable, they want organic, they want natural ingredients for their kids. They are concerned for their children's kids. For anybody watching this, if you are a parent, I would love for you to comment below and let me know your thoughts on this, because I really think you're missing the mark with this one. I think there's a huge opportunity here. And I think it would make a dramatic impact to conversions, to hook parents in as soon as they land on the website. This section, I think it's great. It's almost like a little benefits bar, but I would maybe just separate it, because again, it's difficult to know where I'm supposed to look and the natural sequence of this page. Cool. The branding looks nice and stuff. So yeah, I like that. Our ingredients, again, it's nice that you're kind of speaking into this organic and vegan ingredients even. Latest news and chatter. Cool. So let's have a look at one of the product pages here. Okay, so product pages, nice that you've got nice high quality images. That's awesome. You've got some little cute kids, which is always good. Made in UK, got lots of description in here, which is always good from an SEO perspective. Ingredients, cool. Add to cart. No major issues with this. I think this is pretty good as far as product pages go. Probiotic hand gel, probiotic vegan hand gel. So it's, probiotic vegan hand gel for babies. So it's I'd say that's pretty well SEO optimized. It sounds like what somebody might be typing into the search engine, which is always good. Yeah, cool. No major issues with that. I think it looks like a relatively nice product page. Sometimes it can help to introduce things like scarcity, like you see on Groupon, they're masters at this. 4 people bought this product recently. If you've got offers on, have a countdown time, and not all businesses do offers, so that's totally fine. So just some things to think about. Okay, proceed to checkout. This looks like it's billing and shipping, order and payment. Whoa, okay, this is quite long. I would think about having here if you can do a kind of multi-stage, I wouldn't normally suggest adding more steps. The less steps, the better. When it comes to e-commerce stores, you want to, if you can have one step that is just asking for people's name and email address, it can be much easier to, if people do abandon the cart, when they get to this section, they're like, whoa, I've got to fill out all this. Oh, I haven't got time. And they will go, right? A lot of people will bounce off. It can be really good to have another step in the checkout process where it's name and email address. So if people do bounce because they're just too busy, you can have an automated email that goes out to them and says, hey, we saw you left something in your cart, finish your checkout here, right? So again, parents busy, running around all the time. You really want to think about this, and how can you make this, how can you make it easier for you to follow up with them and make it a simpler process? So yeah, that checkout process is going to be a big one. I'll be interested to see what the abandoned cart rate is on here. Another thing I would suggest is, oh, you did have the pop-up actually with the competitions. So that's cool. You got this free adventure scratch map too. Yeah, I mean, I think other than that, it's pretty good. Let's have a look and see the blog, because the same is going to apply with this, like we just talked about. Half some adventures, 5 fantastic. Okay, that's cool. How to turn your backyard into a wildlife sanctuary. Okay, so this is an interesting one to land on actually. So they've got some quite nice blogs here, because I think they're definitely speaking into things that parents could potentially be searching for. However, these aren't necessarily going to be the best blogs, because there is nothing to say that, 5 fantastic adventures for the whole family. The people that land on this blog aren't necessarily going to care about organic, not necessarily going to care about sustainability, and they're not vegan, right? So this might not even be a good fit for them. So I think it's nice to kind of, try and have that wide net, that kind of top of the funnel content as well. But you also want to think about, okay, how can I make some content that's going to really pull in my perfect customer, right? So that might be, what could people be searching for? Maybe vegan skincare alternatives for kids, or natural vegan skincare alternatives, or whatever these parents might be searching for, whatever concerns they have over their child's skin, or using organic products. Really think about some of those things where when they land on your website, they're going to say, oh my God, this is exactly what I've been looking for. And they're naturally going to want to go on and become a customer. Some of these ones, again, working from home tips, like anyone could be looking at that. So I think the content strategy here could do with some work, and it would significantly increase your organic visibility, which is going to be huge for an e-commerce store, right? This can make huge impacts. We're talking like, potentially an additional £100,000 a month coming into the business, depending, what kind of volumes you're doing right now. But if you can really boost your organic ranking for some like really popular keywords, it's gonna do wonders for your sales. So a few things to think about there. So I'm gonna wrap it up there for today, guys. Let's stop sharing this. Bring this over there. So as always, I really, really hope that's helped. If you are just joining now, see there's 2 people watching. Be sure to comment below, say hi first of all. Hope you're all doing well. You'll be able to catch a replay on Facebook or on YouTube. They'll both be live there. Highly suggest watching. We covered a website for personal branding coach, covered a website for a financial planning service, and also for an e-commerce store as well. Some really, really gold nuggets in there that can significantly increase the amount of leads and sales you're getting from your website. If you do have a website that you want to submit in, drop it in the comments below or send me a direct message, and I will do my best to get it covered on the next one. And let's just see if any comments. Doesn't look like any comments. So I'm going to wrap up there, guys. And as always, hope you got a ton of value from this, and I will speak to you all very soon.